Federico Fellini once said, "Talking about dreams is like talking about movies, since the cinema uses the language of dreams. Years can pass in a second and you can hop from one place to another. It's a language made of images, and in the real cinema, every object and every light means something, as in a dream." This idea that cinema and dreams speak the same language is central to how we experience film. It's why we lose track of time in a theater, why cuts between places or moments don't need to be explained, why sometimes we leave a movie theater not just entertained, but changed. In this video essay, we're diving into that dream logic, to how cinema mirrors the subconscious, how it taps into desire, memory, fantasy, and fear, by creating spaces where reality and imagination blur. We'll explore three notable works: Buster Keaton's Sherlock Jr., Federico Fellini's 8½, and David Chase's The Sopranos.
Movies are dreams, doll, that you never forget. You just wait and see. When it's over, you're gonna have the biggest, sloppiest smile on your face.
But not all dreams are comforting. Some dreams reflect our deepest fears, not desires. David Chase's The Sopranos captures this darker side. 2 episodes in particular dive deep into Tony Soprano's subconscious. In Season 5, Episode 11, titled The Test Dream, David Chase blurs the line between reality and imagination, placing the audience not only in the position of watching the story unfold, but also witnessing the inner workings of Tony's troubled mind. When David Chase writes Tony in dramatic corners, the pressure of balancing his identity as both a ruthless mobster and a family man often becomes unbearable, manifesting through vivid, anxiety-fueled dreams. In one brilliant moment, Tony watches a Western on TV. "It's just that it's so much more interesting than life," he mumbles. Carmela immediately shuts him down. "What, are you kidding me? It is your life." She looks at the screen, and suddenly, the Western transforms into A Christmas Carol. Moments later, when Carmela urges Tony to get dressed for dinner, he points at the TV, and what's on screen is a dreamlike reflection of their own interaction. In one of the most meta sequences of the series, the television shows Tony helping Carmela get dressed, mirroring their conversation and movements in real time. Additionally, the dialogue they speak is repeated on the screen, creating a surreal echo chamber that deepens the psychological tension. Here, the audience becomes the spectator of a dream within a dream, watching Tony and Carmela, who themselves are spectators, watching a version of themselves on screen. I know it's confusing, but it's a masterfully layered moment of writing and directing that captures the strange logic of dreams, the sensation of watching and living something at the same time. It's clever, atmospheric, and deeply introspective. Exactly what makes The Sopranos so compelling. But exploring the subconscious through dream state wasn't something new. Let's go back to when Buster Keaton made Sherlock Jr. In 1924, he wasn't just making an avant-garde comedy. He was building one of the earliest cinematic reflections of film itself, on what it means to watch, to dream, and to desire. Sherlock Jr. follows a shy movie projectionist who dreams of being a detective. But the brilliance of the film lies in what happens when Keaton's character literally steps into the movie he's projecting. As he falls asleep in the theater, the screen transforms. His crush morphs into the woman in the movie. The narrative and reality itself collapses into a fantasy. And then, just as suddenly, he's ejected from the dream. The image slams a door in his face. It's funny, but it's also something profound. In dreams and in film, we are both inside and outside, active and passive, a participant and a spectator. The sequence that follows, A montage of Keaton leaping through rapidly shifting landscapes like cliffs, oceans, and jungles mirrors the instability of both the cinematic space and dream logic. One cut, and we're in a totally different world. Keaton invites us to watch him watching, and in doing so, we become spectators of his subconscious. It's a playful, self-aware commentary of how cinema captures longing, fantasy, and identity before we even realize it's happening. The film's final sequence is just as layered. Our protagonist wakes up, his crush approaches hoping to clear up a misunderstanding, but before she can speak, Keaton's character peeks through the projection port to watch the ending of the film he had just dreamt himself into. It's poetic, really. In Sherlock Jr., dreams and films aren't escapes from reality. They can be just as real to the spectator. The linking tissue of dreamscape, memory, and fantasy converging within the film medium with extraordinary and influential results can be seen in Federico Fellini's 8½. This Italian neo-realist masterpiece follows Guido, a famous film director suffering from a creative block as he attempts to begin his next project. As the pressure mounts, Guido retreats into a surreal world of memories, fantasies, and dreams, blending the line between reality and imagination. Through this introspective journey, he confronts his relationships, regrets, and artistic purpose, ultimately seeking clarity and truth. Fellini once described cinema's hypnotic allure as a dream we dreamt with our eyes open, a notion that speaks directly to 8½'s immersive, dreamlike atmosphere.
Cutting back and forth through time and memory and dreams. At first we try to study the film after seeing it for the first time to try to figure out what was going on, and then you realize you don't have to, because it's very simple, really.
You just said to me what's incredible about this particular sequence, it's all a fantasy.
Totally a fantasy, yes. He has his wife and his mistresses and his mother and his aunts all living all together and all attending him, yes.
This surreal entanglement of viewer, dream, and the cinematic illusion leads directly into the theoretical territory explored by Jean-Louis Baudry, who argued that the cinematic apparatus itself functions like a dream machine, immersing spectators in a controlled hallucination that reflects unconscious desires and ideologies. Overall, cinema mirrors the subconscious by adapting the logic and texture of dreams, where time collapses, identity shifts, and emotion drives narrative. In Sherlock Jr., The Sopranos, and 8½, filmmakers use surreal structure and self-reflective imagery to explore memory, desire, and the fragmented self. These works don't just blur the line between fantasy and reality, they reveal how film can visualize inner secrets and turmoil in ways no other medium can. Ultimately, cinema becomes not just entertainment, but a collective dream, one that helps us understand who we are and who we long to be. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives on film.